I had to take this to YouTube. I'm going to quickly invite others that are waiting on other platforms. Let me take the link and make sure everyone that wants to join is here. Everyone that wants to join. Okay, I think I'll put this. And paste this here. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to get my team to keep posting this. I'm trying LinkedIn Live for the first time. And I'm going to be discussing something very important, and I don't want you to miss out. Thank you if you're joining. Please, when you join, just drop a message where you're joining us from. We are live. You know, the best way I've noticed that the best way I learn or I share anything or I teach anything is when I'm teaching while I am learning. You know, sometimes I have seen from experience that whenever I'm learning something but in particular, if I'm learning a particular skill, I notice that growth for me happens a lot when I'm taking others through that journey. That's why this class is existing. That's why I'm having this class today. And I'm going to indulge each and every one of us. Let's take this journey together. In the last few weeks, I've been having a lot of conversation around growth DNA. I've been having a lot of conversation, a lot of discussion around growth DNA. You know, so please, if you are here, feel free to share this to everyone. I'm going to be sharing something very dynamic, something very solid today. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, let's just roll this with this. I'm not editing anything. I'm just using. I'm just using. Just using. I'm trying to. Okay, let me see if I can do a green screen. Nah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Please, if you join, just drop on the message on the chat box which city you are joining us from. Just tell us where you are joining us from. I want us to do this together. I want a beautiful live session. I want us to do it together. Comment and tell us where you are joining us from. I don't know. I try to take this on LinkedIn, but it wasn't working. So the StreamYard platform I'm using was just giving issues. So I decided to push it here on YouTube. So I'm going to ask people to join us on YouTube. Save changes. Okay. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. It's just a 30-minute section. 30 minutes. I want to do powerful text in this section. Let me see if this works. We'll take it locked. Okay. So, good morning. Good morning. I'm having this section. I can see comments, or I can see what, I wish I can see comments really. A matter that concerns me: how can growth be embedded? How can growth, how do we unlock personal growth in every area of our lives? With respect to finance, marital life, relationship life, academic life, every area of our life, because from my study, from my research, I found out that growth is not merely an event. Growth is a design. I'm interested in growth. Growth has been a subject matter I've focused on a lot this year. And in my study of growth, I found out that every human being, every organization, every individual, including you and me that is listening right now, we have growth DNA embedded in us. So my conversation is now, how do we activate that growth DNA? Okay, we have a built-in capacity for expansion. There is something in us that can help us expand. We have to do. We have inside of us ability to grow. We have inside of us ability to do great things. We have ability for improvement in our inside. We have multiplication ability to multiply ourselves. Okay, we have ability to adaptation ability inside of us. We have everything it takes to make impact. When I discovered that, you know, I was elated. Okay, um, but just like biological DNA, okay, potential enough alone is not enough for growth to happen. Okay, so like in our DNA, for everyone biologically can grow, but being able to grow can is not enough. Okay, it must be activated. There are certain things you must, if you don't feed a child, the child will die, the child won't grow. There are certain things you give to a child from time to time. There's food every child should eat at every level. So, and that is actually how it also relates to our growth. There are certain things we must do at every level to be able to grow. That's the conversation I want us to have today. That's the conversation I want us to have today. Okay, but the the so what I want to achieve with this section is, what does good DNA mean? What is it? Okay, if it is activated, that means it can also be shut down. What can shut it down? What can reduce your growth? What can impede your growth? What can make you not to grow the way you expected to grow? Okay, and then another thing we'll discuss: how do we activate our growth individually, or how do we now build from? How do we activate it? How can we build a lifestyle and system for continuous growth? So, for example, for individuals, so I'm going to be having this conversation not just for individuals alone. I'm also going to be having it for organization, because in my research on growth, I was looking at both individual and personal growth and organizational growth. Because at some point in your life, you are not just about yourself, you become an institution. So whenever you're researching for anything, you are researching for both yourself and the institution you are part of, or the institution you support, or the institution you represent. Okay, so that's what this is going to be. So I started from having the conversation. You know, I first thing I considered was that everything living is designed to grow. A seed grows, a child grows, a healthy company grows, a community grows. So when growth stops for too long, something is wrong. So if you notice in your life, in the life of your child, in your community, or in your company, that growth has stopped for too long, something is wrong. So the question is not whether you are designed for growth or not. You are. We all are. Okay? The question is what is blocking your growth DNA from expressing itself? What is stopping my growth DNA, my company's growth DNA, my organizational growth DNA from expressing itself? Okay? Why do some people stay in one place for a very long time and others keep evolving, others keep experiencing change? Both of you studied the same thing in the university, and is 10 years, the other person is still looking for a job, and this other person had moved on, done masters, done PhD, working in a high level company, built businesses or started a business from with 2 sewing machines. Now he has 8. The next time he has employed 12 people. Now he has a big space, he's running 24 hours. Okay, why do some organizations begin with a strong promise and later become stagnant? One promising organization, things happening very well. What happened? What went wrong? Okay, why do people work so hard but still don't grow? That's the conversation we want to have. It's a tough conversation. Usually growth conversation is what a lot of people avoid. People avoid it because you don't want to say something. People start looking at you. Now, you don't confront a situation only when you are best of it. No. You can also confront a situation even when you personally struggling with growth. It is because growth is not automatic. No. Potential can be automatic. Someone can say, this guy has high potential, this guy is good. But guy, I tell you, from one entrepreneur to another, from one Nigerian, African to another, okay, growth is intentional. If you don't work on growth, you can never grow. Quote me. Okay? Growth is intentional. So in my study, what I've also learned is that I like to find the definition of everything as I proceed in anything I want to do. Growth is not getting bigger. Because you can be getting bigger, but you're not growing. You can have 25 staff, 80 staff, and you're not growing. And you have 80 people doing what 4 people can do. Growth is becoming better, increasing in capacity. Growth is deepening, like if your capacity is here before, and then deepening your wisdom, the level of your delivery today is not the same level of your delivery tomorrow. That's growth. Growth is how do I position this now? Impact is growth, but expanding your impact from time to time. Today you're impacting X number of people. Tomorrow you're impacting X times 10, 10x. That's growth. Your impact, improving on your results. Today you are this level. Tomorrow you are that level. That's growth. Growth is consistent, and for me, in defining growth, personal growth starts from mindset. Okay, and when it comes to personal growth, it has to do with mindset, it has to do with character, it has to do with competence, it has to do with relationship. So you grow in different areas, in your mindset, in your character, in your competence, in your relationship, in your health. Sometimes we forget our health when we're thinking of growth. Okay, in your finances, in your leadership, in your purpose. So, for example, if you're a thought leader, if there are certain things you are here on earth for, if there is anything at all you are here on earth for, today you are at this level. On that subject matter, tomorrow you should be here. That's growth. If you stay at a place for a very long time, you're not growing, then there is a problem. I was studying last week, and something just damn hit my head. Bam! I was so strong that, do you know that people can be giving you accolades based on your yesterday's success, and there's nothing you have done today to deserve that accolade? Do you know people can be making assumption on who you are, and you are not delivering any quality level of success? There's no growth internally. Internal growth is actually what shows in external impact, external exposure, external leadership, external finances, external relationship, external competence. Is internal growth. Okay. Now, I have said that when it comes to individuals, you want to grow in your mindset, your character, your relationship, your health, your finances, your leadership, your purpose. When it comes to organization, I'm trying to really rush because I don't ever want these sections to be more than 30 minutes. At exactly 30 minutes, I do a stop. Okay, because I want to do a series on growth that can actually help activate certain things on growth. Okay, when it comes to organization, growth involves your people, your system, your culture, your revenue, your structure, your innovation, your influence as an organization, your sustainability. I'm going to take this thing again. Your people is very important when you are considering growth. Are your people growing? Are you putting system from time to time that is ensuring that people grow within you? Is there a culture of growth within your organization? Is something you must do as an organization to build a strong culture. Okay, are you innovating? Are you innovating? Are you building an innovation system that helps your processes get better from time to time? You need to think about this thing. What I'm saying is something we all must consider. Are you growing in your influence as an organization? I've heard about influence as an individual, but an organization is also expected to influence in its environment, in its industry. When policies or laws or things are being discussed about your ecosystem, are you considered? How much of your influence is being felt by the people in your industry? Growth is not you know just more. No, is growth is better. You're getting better from time to time. One the place I like reading in the Bible said the steps of the righteous shines brighter and brighter to the dawning of the new day. It has to be brighter and brighter. Today you are here, tomorrow you are here. Today you are dim, tomorrow you are brighter, you are brighter, you are brighter. It's not about speed, no, it's about consistency. So that's what growth is for me. So when I say growth DNA, your growth DNA is an internal pattern that determines whether you are consistently moving from confusion to clarity. It's an internal pattern that determines whether you are consistently moving from effort to effectiveness. It's an internal pattern that decides whether you are moving from survival to significance. I don't have a problem with you being confused at a point, but if you have a growth DNA, from confusion you will be seeing clarity. If you are making effort, it's not working, but you're consistently making effort, and your growth DNA, you are doing what you should do. You have printed the DNA and it's correct. Your effort will move to effectiveness. You will move from survival to significance. You might be broke today, you might not have anything, but if you activate your growth DNA, your activities will lead to results. Okay, you will have good intentions, your intentions will move to impact. There are certain things that are inside of you. Okay, and then one thing about growth DNA, it's made up of your belief system, your beliefs, your habits, your ability to be disciplined, your values, the systems you keep or you design. These are the things that actually make growth natural and repeatable. You start one organization, you know how you started it. The next thing, you use the same method. So it's a belief system, it's a habit, it's discipline, it's a culture, it's a personal culture. Growth DNA is not something that you just let to be. No, it's something you build. Okay, and what it will do for you, it will design a pattern that your effort will now become effective. You have good intentions, it leads to impact. But if you don't sit down and deal with that internal pattern, Then I say it's internal because belief, nobody is seeing belief. You can't touch belief, you can't touch habits, but you see the effect. Okay, are we together? Okay, I hope you're enjoying this. If you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up. Um, I don't know, follow and subscribe. Um, Click subscribe button, drop a comment, share. That's how I know you are with me on this. Okay, because I'm really trying to run. Immediately we get to 30 minutes, I'll do a hard stop and we'll continue this thing at a later date. I am doing a very I've almost done PhD level of study on growth within the last few months. I wanted to start. Okay, let me not talk about that. Let me not talk about that. I'll talk about that later. So, let me explain DNA further. Growth DNA. The way DNA determines how living things develop. Your growth DNA determines how your life and your organizations develop. If you build in growth DNA within your organization, if your growth DNA is weak, you will repeat so many cycles. There are certain things you will do that you should have done it and moved on to the next level, but you cannot. Okay, you will not be able to do that. You will repeat so many cycles if you've not installed your growth DNA. If it is weak, if your growth DNA is weak, you will resist change. Change will come, you won't want to embrace it. If it is weak, you will fear feedback. You won't want to hear feedback. You won't want to hear what people want to say. You avoid discipline. There are certain things that require, for you're a CEO. You don't want to wake up in the morning, get ready and go to work. You're a CEO. You don't want to have certain conversations. You don't want to make call, that sales call. You don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to keep moving. You don't want to keep pushing. You are doing something. You get you try. It's not working. You stop. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Okay. See, let me say, if your growth DNA is weak, you will struggle to scale. Okay? But if your growth DNA is active, you will notice, you will learn fast. You will see that you will adapt quickly. New things will come, you will adapt it. You will see that you'll be building capacity from time to time. You see that it will be easy for you to recover from setbacks. So your growth DNA doesn't mean that being active doesn't mean you won't have setback. No. But it being active means that when there is setback, you can quickly recover. It means that you keep growing from time to time. So what I'm going to do, I have 7 more minutes, so I'm going to use these 7 minutes to there's something I call the growth framework. Okay, it's the 5 codes of the growth DNA. It's coded. Okay, now 5 code. I use the growth framework. Growth, I mean GROWTH. Okay, the growth framework. Number 1, G. Growth begins with a great mindset. If you don't have mindset that growth is possible, before your life changes, your thinking must change. If your thinking does not change, your life will not change. A person who does not believe, if you don't believe that growth is possible, you will sabotage every opportunity. You even sabotage those working with you. An organization with a fixed mindset will fear innovation, will fear feedback, will fear change. For example, when we started IG Hub, I didn't believe in charging for training because of I felt I could just do other businesses, make a lot of money, and then give all the training we do for free. That's what I wanted. But when my people were giving me feedback, I was struggling with it. I say, how is it? Somebody that is looking for money. So because I felt like someone that is still trying to get a job, you have not gotten a job, and then you want to go and charge them money. They say, no, we can't depend on you doing business for us to thrive as an organization. We need to also build. It took a while. I took that feedback. Bam! It became a new stream of income. Even when those projects that were paying me money, bringing revenue, okay, were not coming, that stream of income introduced by my staff, 100%. It wasn't my idea. Initially I said, okay, let's try it. Let's bring it very low. We try. Okay, let's do. Even to increase the rates were challenging for me. because I already had a preset mindset. But when at some point I said, you know what, I shouldn't be scared of innovation. I shouldn't be scared of new things. Innovation is actually doing same thing but in a better way, in a more refined way. Okay, we introduce innovation in different things. We introduce systems. Okay, for example, we literally run one organization but 7 locations. So what am I trying to say? You must understand life does not rise above your mindset for long. It might be as if you will start seeing, if you don't have a growth mindset, you start dying. Growth starts when you stop seeing yourself as stuck and start seeing yourself as developable. You might feel stuck at some point in time in your life. You might be at a point in your life where things are not working the way you planned for it to be. It's okay. Your mindset of growth will make all the difference. Your growth mindset will change the narrative for you. It's okay. Now, I'm saying this thing and I want to say it so that everybody will understand it. It's your mindset of growth that will position you, that will tell you that you are developable. I hope that's a correct English. Okay. A closed mind cannot host an open future. See, you might be struggling today. It's okay. But you must have growth in your mind first. Then your future is open. It will be open. Okay? So my few questions, 2 questions I'm going to ask you, and I'm also asking myself, what beliefs have I accepted that limits my growth? Nigeria is hard. Everyone that has that belief is because the government is not releasing money. That's why your business is not growing. Jesus Christ. See, guys, if you have any form of that type of belief in your mind, you will struggle. Okay? Please, you need to change that belief. What have I mistaken in my current reality as my final reality? Okay, because you can be going through something very, very bad, but it's just a phase, and you now mistake it as this is your life. Guy, that's trouble. So, these 2 questions. The first one is, what belief do I have that limits my growth? The other one, what have I mistaken in my current reality for my final reality? Identify these 2 things and deal with them. Okay? Deal with them. It's very important we deal with them. Because I really want to run, and I don't want to also go beyond this time, because I want us to make this thing a bit consistent. Okay, I'm going to be sharing this from time to time. If you follow me and click on the bell button, whenever I want to go live, it will activate you. It will let you know. Okay, follow me on Instagram also, because sometimes I'll go live on Instagram. I'll go live on Facebook. My Instagram handle is Daniel Chinagozi. Okay. Okay. G is growth mindset. Growth begins with a great mindset. R is responsibility activates growth. Growth begins when excuse ends. You can't be given an excuse and expect to grow. Growth begins when excuse ends. Okay, so it's important for us to understand that many people want to grow. A lot of people are wishing they can grow. A lot of people want some things, but they don't want to take ownership. If you don't take ownership, if you don't take responsibility, you cannot grow. They blame the economy. They blame their family background. Sometimes I'll say, is it because my father was not a billionaire, or my mother, I'm not from a wealthy family? No. I have listened to a lot of people that came from zero, become great. You say the economy is bad, but a lot of people are succeeding in this country. Okay? You say you blame your team. I had a meeting with one of my team members one time. He blamed every other person but himself. Sometimes you blame government. Sometimes you say it's lack of opportunity. Sometimes you say it's timing. You can have every excuse. Stop that. Take responsibility and take shape. Okay? Take responsibility. Things will take shape. Okay? Those things are real. We believe economy is a problem. All these things are problems. opportunity, government, even your background can be a problem. But what can I do with what I have from where I am? There's a book I read written by Pastor Sam Ademi, Start with What You Have. I recommend you go and look for that book and read. Start with what you have. See, it paints a picture of how great where you are is. Okay, meanwhile, tomorrow by 7 p.m. Nigerian time, I'm going to be speaking on how to scale your business in this economy, on deep with Daystar Business Community with Pastor Sam Ademi is Daystar Praise. So I'm going to share for a few minutes and then Pastor Sam will come in. So please, I'm asking you, don't miss out tomorrow's event. I'm going to share it on my different social media after now. Please, I'm going to be sharing some insights that after reviewing the economy, both local and international economy, what is happening, and then I'm going to share insights. How do we scale in spite of that? Okay, it's also growth. Okay, responsibility is power. Excuse will keep you emotionally comfortable, but practically stagnant. Excuse, you give excuse. It's this person, it's this person. Okay, the day you take responsibility is the day you begin to accelerate. Your growth will start when you start taking responsibility. I said I'm going to walk you through the growth DNA, and because I also don't want to overshoot exact time, so we've taken G, we've taken R. Next time we'll take O. So stay on this, don't run away. Okay, thank you, and stay blessed. And I'm going to share this on different platforms. So if you see this version, you will see another version. Okay, my name is Daniel Chinagozi. Thank you.